Hi, my name is Amy Yoder, and Matthew and Carol asked me to share with you just a little bit about our story, my husband and I, and just Owen's journey that we've taken over the last several years. Um, just to give you a little bit of background, I am married, and my husband's name is Lucas. We have four children. Our oldest is Olivia. She's almost 15 years old. Sydney is 13. Ethan is 11, and Owen is 7. And our journey began um, about 7 years ago. I was pregnant with Owen, and we were 37 weeks in our gestation and went to the doctor's office. His heart rate was low, and I was sent over to labor and delivery. And upon entering the labor and delivery, but we got his heart rate on the monitor, and it was only about 40 beats per minute. So within 10 minutes, we were rushed to the emergency room, and Owen was born under an emergency C-section, and he was a full recess code, which means that he was not breathing when he was born. He did not have a heart rate, and so a CPR was initiated on him, and he was put on a ventilator. So we spent about 2 weeks in the intensive care unit. About 24 hours after he was born, he began to have seizures and just difficulty being awake. He didn't have reflexes that were intact after he was born because of just the severe anoxia. And so that's kind of where our journey began with Owen. And then the first year was just really difficult. He struggled a lot with colicky. He had reflux. He had a couple different surgeries that he had a lot of complications from. And so it was about 18 months until Owen could kind of do anything in life but just survive. And so around 18 months is when we kind of began just doing what a lot of parents do when they're noticing that their child has some kind of special needs. Clearly we knew that there were some issues related to his birth, but it just, as a mother, felt like there was something else that was going on. And so we kind of just started seeing different specialists at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. We saw a pulmonologist and we saw a geneticist. We took him to see an endocrinologist, and nobody could just kind of put their finger on what was going on. We eventually got referred to one of the geneticists at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. And after going through just a series of testing and evaluations, both for myself and my husband and Owen, he was diagnosed with what's called a mitochondrial disease. And one of the geneticists told us, this was one of our last visits, that we should take Owen home, medically manage him, and that we had a better chance of winning the lottery than ever finding out what was wrong with our son. Which, if you can imagine, was just completely devastating. And I just remember my husband and I driving home from Pittsburgh, and our car ride home was just silent. Just feeling really, really hopeless. At that point, we had gone through all of the standard therapies that you do. We did physical therapy and occupational therapy and speech therapy, and just had very, very little improvements with Owen. And it was a lot of stretching and strengthening and putting him through motions according to his chronological age, even though neurologically he was not able to function at a 2-year-old level or a 3-year-old level. And so leading up to that visit with a geneticist and then getting that kind of news was just completely devastating. And we, at that point, just felt completely hopeless. We decided that we were just going to take some time and kind of just take a break and process what we had been told. And probably within a week of talking with the geneticist, there was a young gal that showed up at our door that we didn't know. And she had the Family Hope Center handbook that they provide at their 3-day conference. And she just said, I have something really important to give to you guys. I heard about Owen and I heard about your family, and it's something that I think could really benefit Owen. And at that point, there's been so many people have opinions to give to you and advice to provide, and this doctor wants you to try one thing, another doctor wants you to try another thing. And at that point, we kind of just felt like we were exhausted from opinions and trying different options and going to see different specialists. And we kind of just thought, like, this is just another run-of-the-mill option that was out there for our son. And so for a few days, we didn't do anything with the material. We didn't look at it, and then we just decided, you know what, let's look through it together. And we started reading the information that she provided, and it just seemed like it made a lot of sense, more sense than anything that we had done at all for Owen before, and any services that were provided. And so we decided to go to the 3-day conference, and we were both still a bit skeptical. But I just remember as Matt and Carol were sharing just the physiology behind everything, and linking it with some of the things that Owen could do and the things that he couldn't do. And it wasn't about putting a label on him. It wasn't about saying what he can't do, but like looking at the things that he can do and the strengths that he has. And just determining where in the brain is the injury, and then how to stimulate that part of the brain and move forward from there. But I just remember my husband and I both sitting at the conference just with tears just running down our eyes, our cheeks. And it was the first time that anything had ever made sense. Let me just back up just a little bit. After we had gotten the information and before we went to the conference, I decided to make a phone call to the Family Hope Center just to really kind of see, what this was all about. And I talked with Donna Stark, and she's just an amazing, amazing woman, and just really encouraging. And I told her own story, and I told her what the geneticist had told us. And at the end of the conversation, she listened, the whole time I was talking to her. And at the end of the conversation, she said, Amy, I want you to know that there is hope. There's hope for Owen, and there's hope for your family. And that was the first time that anybody had ever told us that. So it meant a lot. And then my husband and I went to the conference, and we just felt very convicted that that the theology behind Family Hope Center was true, and it was real. And so about 2 years ago, we started our journey with Owen through Family Hope Center, and it's been really amazing. It's been really amazing. It has been able to put us as parents kind of in the driver's seat, so to speak, of taking care of your child. It has given me confidence as a mother, as we're dealing with different positions in the area, just to be able to kind of take charge and say, you know what, this is what's working really well with our child, and this is the program that we're doing, and this is why. And just being able to kind of stand up and be a fighter for him, and just kind of go forward on this journey. So when we started the program with Family Hope Center, it was about 2 years ago. Owen was probably about 4.5 or 5 years old, and he was not able to talk really at all. He wasn't really communicating at all with us, besides maybe like 5 words. He was not able to read at all, not recognize any kind of words. He was not able to stand on his own. He wasn't able to creep or to crawl correctly. Everything that he did neurologically was completely dysfunctional. So he was a 5-year-old that was basically functioning like a 4 to 6 month old child. And so let's just kind of go through up until the next 6-month visit. We came back and did an evaluation of him neurologically. I think the whole screen is on.
It's 2 o'clock.
Okay. So we had our initial assessment with Owen, and he came back 6 months later and went through the program and did our evaluation with him. And within that 6 months, Owen had improved neurologically 151 times faster than he had before we ever started the program, which was just amazing. So we decided to just really continue on this journey. The progress has been slow, it's been steady, but it's been positive every step of the way. And so today, Owen is now taking up to 30 to 45 steps on his own independently, standing independently on his own for about 3 to 5 minutes. He's starting to read in short phrases. He recognizes probably over about 400 words. So he's very socially appropriate, and he's integrated into a normal kindergarten classroom, and socially responds very well. He has a really good sense of humor. He's a funny kid, and he has a sarcastic sense about him that just is really funny and inviting to other parents and other kids. So I guess if I have any advice to tell you or anything to encourage you, I guess it would just be to come and to hear what they have to say, to go to the 3-day conference and listen to Matt and Carol and the rest of the team, and just to know that there are people here at Family Hope Center that have been doing this for a long time, and they understand your kids, and they understand you, and they are here for you, and they are here to support anytime that you need a phone call, a Skype call. And one thing that I've really, really appreciated about the clinicians here at Family Hope Center is that the program that's laid out for Owen, there's months sometimes that we couldn't get it all accomplished, or we couldn't reach the goals that we had set out for ourselves. And they have never made us feel inadequate in any way. They have just over and over just reinforced how well we're doing as parents and taking care of Owen and the progress that's being made. And they never make us feel inadequate in any way. And so we're going to get Owen, and I'm going to invite you to kind of just join the journey with us for a little bit and watch as he takes a few independent steps for you.
If you can make it the whole way without stopping, it's everything's just fine. Or would that be something you should run by right now?
I would, yeah, run by the car. But what you could do is just get into some breaking reading activity.
I can't believe that.
Right? So, I mean, like, if you run 100 yards dash, you're really running fast. Jogging.
I think Owen wanted to show you
What
how
happens when the heart rate is significantly increased? So had a history of fracturing of heart. If you want, you don't want to. So what I probably would do for initially is say, wow.
Can you go all the way to Mr. Martin?
10 times.
Come on. Awesome.
Take your time. Intentionally deep. Something like that. You are doing great. Check with the cardiologist. Are there any complications?
And then the other piece was learning and interest loss.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
Fantastic.
Leaving now.
You made it. That was your goal right there. Good job.
Nice job. That's awesome.
Good job,
There you
Owen.
are.